United States. A lot of U.S. citizens want to get in the fight early. Many of those who did so went north and joined the Canadian Armed Forces and memorialized by that cross. Now that large object up on the hill off to the left behind the green fence, that's the original flag mast of the battleship Maine. They're restoring it right now. Blew up in Havana Harbor, February 1898, sparking the Spanish-American War. Some of the 260 crew members who lost their lives in the explosion are interred here on the left side. Now this cemetery was originally a plantation of 1,100 acres owned by a man named George Washington Park Custis, Martha Washington's grandson from a previous marriage. When his father John died at the Battle of Yorktown, he was adopted by President Washington, General Washington, later President Washington. So our next stop, Arlington House, was built by the adopted son of General Washington as a shrine to his adopted father, President Washington. Built in after 1799 when Washington died. During the Civil War and for decades after, with only a couple of exceptions, only Union soldiers were buried here. This became a military cemetery in May of 1864 during the Civil War. About 1900, they created this section across the road on our left. You see Mother South in the surrounded by 482 reinterred Confederates. She's facing south. You notice the headstones are slightly pointed. Confederate veterans always used to joke that was so the Union veterans wouldn't sit on top of their headstones. If you look off on the left side, you see a white cross near the wall. A couple rows behind it, final resting place of James Parks. He's the only person we know for sure was both born and buried in Arlington National Cemetery. Born a slave on the plantation. Emancipated in the Civil War, became the very first caretaker. Was so well respected as caretaker that when he died in 1929 at the age of 83, he was given a full military honors funeral, something very rare for a civilian. Now, George Washington Park Custis and his wife Mary, who built Arlington House, our next stop, are buried about 150 yards off to the right. See that little fold in the ground and some tall trees? There's a little gated family cemetery. That's where they're buried. On both sides of us, Section 13, some of the 16,000 Union soldiers interred in Arlington National Cemetery. Notice the shield-like design, comment about 1910. Notice a lot of them say unknown, no common identification system or dog tags in the Civil War. So they'd often come upon a service member in the field, could tell what side, maybe what state or regiment, but not know the service member's identity. Now in front of us, and it'll pass on our left, is old Section 1. It's one of the older sections of the cemetery. Notice how diverse the headstones are. Almost no restrictions the first couple of decades after the Civil War. If you could pay for it, you could put it up. Until one day a gentleman said he wanted to be buried under a cannon.